For this iteration, I was working with UI, where I had to learn how to embed HTML with Ruby. And our user interface is different from last time, because last time we were only creating on top of what Dr. Gunn already had. And that was causing us a lot of problems, and that would have created a lot of mess. So we were suggested to create a different page for analytics. And for that, we already have boxes ready. And when you click on those boxes, you then afterwards you can click on the buttons, and that will take you and give you analytics of the things that you want and give you the data. Those buttons are currently not working, but we have everything ready for those buttons. Those buttons only need to be linked with the files, and those files are already ready and coded. So I think we should have that ready in like 1 to 2 days in next iteration. So that's our plan for next iteration as well.
So for this iteration, I was tasked with making progress on story points 24, 25, and we added story point 27 here towards the end. Story point 25 is displaying which professors have taught a specific course. With Bonsall working on the UI portion and trying to figure out the website of things, I decided to focus on doing the Python script to get the information we want. So that way, once Bonsall has the buttons figured out, we have scripts ready to rock and roll. So I was able to complete that script. I was able to outline the script for story point 24, which is showing what the enrollment number for a specific course is for a given number of semesters. We ran into a challenge of parsing our semester information into a format that would allow us to do a range of semesters. So right now we're working on finding a workaround for that, so that way we can more easily do a range of semesters. Story point 27 was show what course a professor has taught, so that way you can search courses by professor. So that story point has been completed and in script, and will hopefully be added to the web page early on in the next iteration.
The main part that I focused on for this iteration was room tags and breaking down room data analysis. The room tags are pretty much done. They just need to be finalized and linked up. And then for the room data analysis, I started working on it a little bit, but I haven't fully broke it down and fleshed out the ideas I have to get useful analytics on the information we have.
Throughout this iteration, I was mostly responsible for constructing Python queries that connect to a database and run an SQL statement that analyzes that database and then returns values. This has bridged the gap between performing analytics on the website and the database we've created.
So for this iteration, I was responsible for keeping up with the database that we have in place. I fixed a lot of bugs that ended up coming up when we tried to run our Python scripts. So I modified various elements in the table that we initially created for all of the courses. Some things had to change when we got all of the data from the math site that we pull from for our course table. Several things like course title length had to keep getting changed because there's several courses that have even over 100 characters in length and stuff like that. So it was a lot of manual editing as I pulled from each year all the way down to fall 2008 was the oldest recorded course.
Throughout this iteration, I had to refactor a lot of code because of the way that we set up the code in the previous iteration. I had to find a way to incorporate the teachers and the rooms into the original database while still keeping them autonomous enough to access on their own. And it took a lot of code rewriting, but we're just about there with it.